All right, hey, it's Mike here with MakeOnce.com. In this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you our automated inbound video retargeting. So it's the machine that we use to get customers using the internet. And we get customers by actually doing less. And this is what I use for myself, for all of my clients. I've used this in 60 plus different industries, and it has always worked. And it works because it just works based off human psychology, how we act, and behave. And that makes it so powerful because you know that it's going to work as long as you're going to be getting money from humans. Okay. So the reason I make these videos to begin with, and the reason I do this, is because businesses actually need customers, right? And the big thing is we want to get customers by actually doing less. And in order to do that, what we figured out was this automated inbound video retargeting. So I just want to show you how to use it so you can put it into your business and get started with it. Okay. So there's basically 5 major parts to this machine, okay? And the first part here, I got Zoom 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because our clients, I get on 5 live Zooms with them that I record and give to them. Plus I give them a course. So the course also teaches them what I teach them live. But the reason I do it live like this on Zooms for them is because I make sure that it gets done. It's like an accountability. It's like let's implement and get this thing done. Because thankfully it's not that complicated, and that's why I like sharing this with you because it is so powerful. So, if you see me looking over here once in a while, it's because I'm also recording this live on TikTok. And so for all of you at TikTok, if you have questions, just Mike@MakeOnce.com is the easiest way to do it. If you want the funnels and automations and everything that I do here, you can just go to MakeOnce.com and I just give it to you for free. It's already filled out, it's already templated, and you can just take advantage of it and use it. You just got to edit me out of it. I still have my stuff in it. So anyway, so the first thing here is we've got to get attention, right? We've got to attract people, and then we've got to take that attention and that attraction, and we've got to turn it into converted customers or people buying our stuff. So how do we actually do that? Well, here's what a lot of people do. They're either really good at getting attention or they're really good at converting attention. Where it gets to be a problem is where they can't do both, right? Or they don't know what to do, or they've got so many shiny objects that they just can't figure out which way is up. And that's why I do this way. And I've worked every single day, and I work every single day optimizing to simplify, remove, and have the least amount of parts this thing needs to be actively successful all the time. Because I want to have a life, I want to be able to serve my customers in the very best way, and I also want to be able to have a machine that can exponentially grow. It can't get jammed up and not work. It can always be working all the time with or without me, and it's something that can compound, and that's what I love about this entire process, this entire machine. So, that being said, the first step in this entire machine, and I'm going to break down the main points of each one of these things, but the first thing is the attraction piece. And in order to attract people and convert them into customers, we've got to know who those people are. So who are we serving? What are we going to say to them? Or in other words, the message. And what is the offer that we're going to make? So when I get on the Zoom with my clients, okay, this is the first thing we cover. Who are you serving? Or in other words, what problem are you actually solving out there? People want things, all right? People are in a current situation and they always want to be in this desired situation. Everybody's like this, you, me, everybody. We all have a current situation and we all have a desired situation. We all want this desired, future self. And so you've got to figure out who is it that I'm actually helping? What is my end customer? Who is the best possible customer for what it is that I have? And the easiest way that I've come up with to figure this out is, what problem am I solving? Businesses make money when they solve problems. That's period. That's what it is, okay? So that's what we've got to figure out first. You just need to know who this person is. What keeps them up at night? I like to think of the question like, what does my customer think about at 3 a.m. in the morning with a knot in their throat? They wake up, they sit on the edge of their bed, and they're like, God, if I could just get whatever that thing is, that's the thing that they want. That's what you've got to lead with. And remember, people buy what they want, not what they need. If people bought what they needed, there would be no fat people. Okay, there would be no people doing terrible things to themselves and all this stuff, right? Whatever. All right, and nothing against fat people. Hell, I've been fat before and got skinny. So listen, it's nothing to be worried about. Just fix it if you don't like being that way, whatever. So the thing is, people buy what they want though, okay? So I see so many of our clients are leading out there with what they need. They'll never get what they need until they get what they want. And so that's the big thing that we lead with. What is it that they want? And the message, here's a simple framework so you have your message dialed in. So many people, my market, my niche, you're getting it right here. Here's how you pick your marketing, your niche. First off, what problem are you solving and who's it for? Start with who has the problem and then write down the problem that you're solving for them. What are you doing to solve that problem? Then you want to create this message. The easiest way that I have found to create a message that will help your customer instantly know within seconds what it is that you do, you want to do this little formula. So write this down, okay? It's right here. I help X to Y by Z, okay? I help X, these people, this niche, to solve this problem with my or by my whatever it is that you're using. So for me, I help business owners to get more customers by doing less with my automated inbound video retargeting system or formula or blueprint or machine, whatever you want to call it, all right? So if somebody asks you what you do, you practice this and you always say it in your messaging, in your business, in your videos, in your everything. I was golfing the other day. We were going and this guy, he was kicking my butt and he finally turned around because it was the middle of the day and I'm out there golfing and he goes, so what do you do? You're kind of a young guy and I'm out here with a bunch of old guys because they're retired. And he's like, what do you do? And I said, well, I help business owners get some more customers for their business, by doing less things. And we do that with our automated inbound video retargeting system. What do you think he said next? He's like, what is that? Because he owned a business too. He owned a decorative concrete business. And as soon as I said that to him, he's like, oh, really? How does that work? And he wanted to know more. And that's the key. Your message should make your audience, in my case, business owners, which he was, want to know more. Okay? That is the key element that you get that curiosity. See, curiosity kills the cat, right? So you've got to have the understood benefits of what it is that you offer. And you got to make people curious about wanting to know more, okay? The benefit in this message for my customer was getting more customers by doing less. That's the benefit. That's what they want. And then the curiosity was, I didn't say using funnels and video marketing and emails and all this stuff because maybe he's heard that before or maybe he doesn't care about that. I use an automated inbound video retargeting machine. What is that, right? That is the thing that now they're curious about. And for all of you that are having trouble, once again, with the market and the niche, it's a big question I get all the time. Even with people that have been in business for 30 plus years, they're still having trouble finding their niche or finding their audience. And it's something where we've got to keep this simple, all right? How do you catch a mouse? You don't catch a mouse by doing anything complicated. You take what it wants and you put it on a trap. That's it. All right. So what we do in our stages over here is we've got a funnel, right? That funnel is the trap, if you will. And what we do is we put what they want on the second page. And this is a big, big thing that we've got to keep in mind when we're thinking about our audience, our message, our offer, because you've got to really, truly understand your person, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what are they scared of, what do they desire most, what do they really want the money for, what keeps them up at night, what puts a knot in their throat, what really gets under their skin, what really gets them really excited. Just know those things. They tell you all the time on the internet. Just go look in comments, reviews, etc., etc. Get a good list of that. Create your I help X to Y by Z, and then figure out what that core want is. And then what you want to do is think about what bonus can I give them if they email me back after they opt in. And I'll explain more about that here in step 3. But I want you to think about What is the core thing they want? A mouse, core thing, cheese, all right? Keeping it simple. What is the core thing they want? The core thing my audience want is customers and more time, okay? So if I can show them how to do that, I'm very valuable to them. The bonus that I give them if they email me back, and I'll explain why in just a minute, is something where I give them my systems, I give them my templates, and I give them all these things so that they can hit the ground running. And the reason I do that is because we want our emails to show up in the inbox. Well, if you want to train someone's inbox so that your emails always go into it when you email them from your autoresponders, etc., you would want them to go find your email wherever it may be, promotions, puts it over in the trash folders or whatever, spam and junk. You want them to go find that email. You want them to open it, so click and open it, and you want them to reply back to it and say, hey, I got your email. And if they do that, you're gonna send them the bonus email, which of course is automated, all right? So when somebody clicks and opens your email and emails you back, it tells their email service provider, it's okay to put these emails in the inbox because based on the person's who owns the inbox, their behavior of emailing that person back, that's something they want to see more of. That's indicating like a care, a desire to have more of those emails. That's how you train that email inbox. So a little tip there. And then what we do to really dial in our market, our niche, our message, and our offer, okay, is we use short form content because it's hyperactive. You get a lot of feedback really quick from that. And then we test and tune that offer. I've been testing and tuning my offer since 2007, okay? But once you dial it in and you really understand the language that when I say these key words or when I say these key things, it always turns their head. It always turns it. Like they always got to look at it, click on it, something, right? You'll never figure that out if you're not out there casting different lures all the time. And as soon as you find a lure that works, what do you think you should do? You should work on trying to get as many fishing poles with that lure on it as possible out there working for you, all right? So, step one, who's the customer? Start with the problem you solve. That's how you find the customer, okay? If I can help people get customers, who are the people that want customers? Business owners, entrepreneurs. Okay, I found my people. You can get as hyper with that as you want, okay? The message, I help my person solve this problem with this formula, blueprint, system, machine, whatever, okay? What is the core thing that they want? It's usually one or two words. Weight loss, okay? Muscle, all right? No trash, right? No pain, things like that, right? Like website, anything, right? Like it's usually just one number, more money, more time, okay? So, and then what's a bonus that you could give them so that they can email you back? Short form, use short form, Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. You could do any kind of videos where you're gonna get some feedback from the marketplace if they care. If you create 10 videos on TikTok, or let's say 20 videos or 30 or 50 or whatever, they're a minute long for crying out loud. You could create 50 of them in 50 minutes. You're gonna see some that are gonna take off and some that aren't. You're gonna see just natural selection will appear and teach you what you need to do more of. Okay, so on the second one here, this is all about your video blueprint. Okay, so that's all I call this, is the video blueprint. Now this happens in a few forms, okay? So I got the OAV, some people call it a VSL. I call it all kinds of things. Sales video, offer amplifier video, because it amplifies your offer. It's like your first impression, your first date, okay? And so you need to make sure that you create one of these, because when you get their attention, or they get, if we're going after that mouse, as soon as it smells the cheese, you better have a good chunk of cheese sitting on that trap if you want to catch that mouse. In this case, when you've got your short form videos, your long form videos, and you got all that stuff going out there, if you don't have a video or the core thing that really displays what you do to help the customer solve their problem. And this video has a few elements to it. And I'm going to show you how to make the video here in just a second. But the core element of this video is the who, what, where, why, how, when thing. You need to answer all those questions. Who is it for? Who are you? What does it do? What do they got to do? Why do you do it? Why do they want it? When do you do it? When do they have to do it? How do you do it? How do they got to do it? You need to answer both sides of that coin, but you really need to make sure that if you want to build trust, if you want to get your audience to trust, complete strangers to trust you, you know how you do it? You share to them exactly what they're going through so that they feel understood. See, most people, when they create videos and stuff like this, they're trying to get people to understand things. What you really want to do is you want to help that customer feel understood. Yeah, I know that doctor's really good, but this other one really understood me. Oh, I know, but this other place, they really got me. See, if you can share with somebody what they're going through mentally, the pains, the struggles, the things that they experience in the deep, dark places, when they're driving to work, when they're just walking down the road, when they're by themselves or whatever. If you can really describe what they're going through, the struggles, the frustrations, the things that get them going, they're going to go, there's no way this person could know this without understanding truly what I'm going through. That right there it'll just, you've got trust, right? And if you can pull through and honor all of that stuff, my gosh, it'll explode for you. So how do you do this? You need to think about your customer. This is a sad face. This is a happy face with an arrow going this way. And these slots, or these marks that you see, are the steps that you take to get somebody from here to here. You see, no matter what, your business has a process that has to happen in order to get the customer to the desired situation. So what are those steps? Oh, there's tons of steps. Okay, great. You need to compartmentalize them down into like 6 to 9 steps, and you need to try to make them as simple as possible. So you might have to combine some things, but you want to lay that out. Do a brain dump. What do we actually do to get the customer from where they are to where they want to be, from point A to point B? What is the steps, okay? Once you've outlined that, you've just created every short form or TikTok, Instagram Reel, YouTube Short. You've created every video you ever need to create. You've created every email you've ever needed to create. You've created all the copy you've ever needed to create. And a big tip here from our buddy Ogilvy, you don't create the copy. You don't come up with copy. Your customers do. You just take what they're saying about what they're struggling with or what they're dealing with that they want to fix. So you go to comments, reviews, you listen, right? And your customers write all of your copy. You just rearrange what they're saying in the correct order based off how you're sharing it with them. That's the true core essence to copywriting. So in order to do that, you got to know who they are and you got to know the pains and struggles. Okay, so you can listen and you'll just take what it is. I literally copy and paste comments and use that for email copy. Because why would I say anything other than what they're saying they're having trouble with? You understand what I'm saying? So that's the real key. Questions are the answer. How do I find what my customers are saying should be the most important question when it comes to copy and things like that, or your videos. So you outline those steps, and this videos, it can be anywhere from, I've seen it down to 5 minutes effectively work to 1 hour. It just really depends on what you're offering, okay? If you're trying to, sell one of these, you probably don't need an hour, okay? If you're selling a system that has multiple variables, parts and pieces, it's probably going to take a little bit more. But you want to outline this in that core video, which is on page 2 of your funnel. When they opt in, you're going to share with them, hey, if you've got this problem and you want this to be solved, I'm going to show you right now exactly how to do that. And that's the thing that's going to really crush it for you when you can say, here's what most people experience and struggle with. And what we've figured out how to fix that, or what we figured out to do to fix that, or what we've created to fix that is this, and let me show you why we do it that way, and how easy it is for you to get it, and when we happen, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So that's so key that you do that. This is that core video. It's the video that you need to spend the most time on really trying to make good. And it doesn't need to have high flash, you don't need to go rent a video team or get this huge studio, okay? You just need to be able to talk to them. And you're always talking to one person. Isn't it interesting how it's always felt like I'm just talking to you? And yet, we've probably got quite a few people watching this right now, okay? So it's always, talking to that one person, all right? And it's really helping them understand that you understand them, right? That they feel understood, that you got it dialed in. After you create that core video that really shares what it is that you do, okay, and how you do it, and you help them feel understood, and at the end you give them urgency, scarcity, and a clear call to action, meaning a clear path without confusion on exactly how to get what it is that you're offering them. Okay, I see people make this so complicated, right? Why would you complicate how they get your stuff? You should have a crystal clear, almost like virtual handheld feeling of how they get that. It should be stupid simple, okay? Urgency, how do you make it urgent? Well, how much time do they have to get it? Well, Mike, they can get it whenever. Well, why do you have it like that? Okay? Why don't you say it's only available until all the spots are filled? Okay? Scarcity, how do you do scarcity? Well, if I sent you 10,000 customers right now, could you handle it? All right? Probably not, okay? So there's always a number. Just figure it out. It doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is. Just share it with them. If you say, well, we've only got 1,000 spots left, they must be like, holy crap, they either sell a ton of these things if they're saying there's only 1,000 spots left, or maybe you're some type of service provider, coach, course creator. Maybe you've only got so many trucks. Maybe you've got only so many spots in your mastermind. Maybe you got so many, widgets left. Maybe you can only create so many. There's always a way to do that, and you don't have to lie. You don't have to do manipulated stuff, nothing crazy. Never lie, okay? Just literally be like, hey, we've only got this many spots left, and if you want the bonus that we're only offering it until the end of the month. And come up with a cool bonus or offer so that you can say that. And then you can say, now here's how you actually get it. The first thing you do is you do this. The second thing you do is this, and then this will happen, and then boom, this happens. Okay? The more you can articulate that and make it super clear, you're going to remove anxieties, less confusion, bam, customer. And by the way, everything I'm talking about here, yes, there's an initial setup. But once it's set up, it's kind of like a house. There's a little bit of work to build the house, but once the house is built, you can live in it without having to build the house every time. And that's the same thing here. If you'll take the time to build the house, and you'll take the time to put the automations in place, it's just so nice because every day you know that you're out there gathering attention, converting it into customers, and the whole system is neat because it filters out all the people that are tire kickers. You don't deal with that anymore. All right? Okay. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to create 10 videos that are anywhere from 5 to say 30 minutes long, depending on whatever it is that you're talking about. Use some common sense here, okay? Here's the thing with length of video or anything. It needs to be as long as it needs to be to get the job done, meaning it provides all the things that need to be known in it based off what the video is topicked, and then it needs to have that urgency, scarcity, and call to action. Everything that you put out there, okay, unless you're just doing it for the sport of it, needs to have a clear objective, okay? Am I getting a lead, a subscriber, a like, a comment? Am I getting feedback? What is this thing for, right? You need to do that. You need to do that. But we're going to send out 10 emails in 7 days, and here's how you answer these emails. Imagine somebody went through and they seen your core offer video, okay? That video sales letter, the offer amplifier video, these are all the same word, all the same things. After somebody's watched that, okay, I got what ifs. You need to write down as many what ifs as you possibly can, okay? And these what ifs it's like, well, what if they watch the video and they're wondering how much work is involved? Well, that's a video that you're going to create, and we're gonna send out 10 follow-up videos in 7 days, and I'll talk more about that over here in this section. 10 videos in 7 days, and you're just gonna answer all the what ifs. They might be like, well, what if I have to do this with it? Or what if I need this with it? Or what if this happens? Or what if this happens? That's all you're doing, is creating it's like, what are all the frequently asked questions? Okay, what if there's other companies out there that offer this too? Should I go check them out? Well, if there's other companies out there that offer what you're offering, you best go ahead and show them that you know that too, and that you can clearly just show them why you're different. And if there's not a lot of reasons why you're different, then you better be a pretty likable person. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of dentists out there, but there's some of them that I can't stand. Okay, so that's the thing that you've got to understand. By creating content like I'm doing right now with you, you're able to inlay your personality. You're able to show them what you're made of. You're able to give that impression. Most people out there are not doing this stuff. And do you realize that you can't go back to yesterday and post something? So in other words, the amount of content that you can post, or in other words, the amount of things that you can put out in the world to get attention with is limited by time. Time, it's all fleeting, right? So if your competitors are putting out videos every day and you're putting out one every other day, at the end of the day, they're going to beat you unless their stuff is crap, right? So you've got some variables in there, but you've really got to think about, I can't go back to yesterday. I can't go back to yesterday and post content. And you know, when you put out a TV commercial, it goes away. A radio commercial, it goes away. A flyer gets thrown away. Think about that. When you put something out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, it stays out there forever. And as the algorithms continue to change and bring people what they actually are looking for, and you stay focused on your topic and what it is that you're doing long enough, that people are actually going to see that this guy knows what he's talking about. And it was a huge mistake that I made. It's one of the biggest regrets in my career, is not putting out more content in my earlier parts of my career. But figured that out, we're going to change that. So the thing is you've got to be putting that stuff out there, because it can compound. Thousands and thousands of people, millions of people can see that one piece of content that you did that one time, and that's building your audience. That's building your, I used to just be like, well, I'll just run ads and get customers that way. All right, I'll just run ads, spend $1, get 5, 10, 15 bucks back. That's great, but it's limited and it doesn't compound on its own. It doesn't live forever, and I've always got to feed that thing. If you love what you do and you're doing what you do because you want to actually help people, why in the hell wouldn't you want to talk about it all the time, showing them how you help them? Kind of silly, right? So that's the way I look at it. Enjoy yourself, care about them, come from your heart, and just be real. And I promise you, if you help everybody else get what they want, you're not going to have to worry about what it is that you want. And that's one of my favorite quotes from Zig Ziglar. 10 videos that you're going to follow up with them in 7 days. Here's how the videos go. When somebody opts into the funnel, which we'll talk about here in the next step, immediately when they opt in, they get an email that sends them straight back to the video on page 2. The reason we do that is they might have opted in sitting on the toilet, and now they got to wipe their ass, get up, and go, right? And they can't watch the whole video, or traffic, or whatever. They're cooking. You just don't know. So you don't want to let that just be of chance that they've seen it. You send out an email right away that sends them back to that video so that they can watch it later. And you also include that message, like I said back here. Hey, if you reply back to that email, I got it, I'll send you that bonus stuff. Okay? That's what that first email does. And then you get a video out to them. And every time we email somebody, it's going to have a video in it. Why would you communicate to your audience any other way? Okay? Why would you communicate any other way? If I can use a device that lets me move in it to hold their attention, use body language, attenuate my voice, high or low or whatever, really demonstrate and display what it is that I do, why in the hell would you use anything else? It's common sense, okay? If you got a car, why would you walk, 30 miles? Okay, it's just kind of like that. Thank you, technology, right? That everybody bitches and moans about. You can use a gun to kill people, or you can use a gun to feed people. You can go, feed you can go get food, right? It's like everything's got these things. It's your job to find the part of it that's, positive and worth it. After you get these 10 emails and these 10 videos shot, you're going to hang on to those. And by building out this process here, every time you go live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, all that stuff, you're just going to pick one of these parts of the process, and you're just going to go deep on it. You're going to talk about step 1 1,000 different ways because there's millions of different people. And you're going to use different analogies and different hooks and different stories to tell the same thing that you told in the last time you talked about this. And same with all the steps. Because see, the only reason people aren't buying your stuff is number 1, they don't know that you exist, period. That's the worst problem for a business. People just don't know that they exist and they can solve this problem, all right? The second thing, assuming you've got attention now, the second reason they're not buying your stuff is simply because they don't understand the value. If I walked into your room right now and I had a person with me that was they could notarize and make sure of and everything like that, some authority that would make sure I did what I said I was going to do. If I walked into your house like that and I emptied a bag of, got a light going out, so just deal with the lightning storm here. If I dumped out a bag of cash, $1 million, and I said, listen, you can have this. I notarize it. I sign off. That guy says, yeah, he'll do it. And I said, listen, you've got 2 hours to come up with $20,000 and you can have this $1 million. Do you think you could do it? Would you ask 20 people for $1,000 and tell them you'll give them 5,000 back in 2 hours? You would do everything you possibly could. Everything you'd become so convincing to get that money because you could what? You could clearly see the contrast in what I was giving you and what I was asking you for. The value of what you were getting was so immense that you went to the ends of the earth to get what needed to be gotten to get that. And if your customers aren't doing that, it's because they don't clearly understand what you're offering them. They don't understand the value. So work on that. That's why we have social media, email marketing, automations, because we want to automate. We want to consistently send a message out showing the value. Does that make sense? So think about it. If you're constantly creating videos, sharing how each part and step of your process matters to the customer, getting to where they want faster, easier, less expensive, more fun. If you do that consistently and always, and you deliver on that, how are you going to lose? It's very simple. It's very simple. Don't complicate this. So in Infinite, we are sending out videos and we are creating short form and long form content, or if you want to kind of, save time or be more efficient, you could do all the videos for the month on the first Saturday of the month and then schedule it all to go out. You can create a bunch of long form videos and chop them up into YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels, etc. And you're always just hook, why, next. Hey, in this video, if you're looking for this, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in 3 steps. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I help and you share your message, okay? And then you go, now, let's jump into step 1, boom, that's what's next. And then always, there's got to be an urgent, scarce, clear, urgent reason, scarce reason, and a clear call to action. Okay, please do not, if you want somebody to take action, they're not going to take action unless you have a real good reason for it. Okay, I mean, most people, they'll be overweight or something. They'll go to they won't work out, they won't exercise, they won't eat right, they won't do none of that stuff until they finally feel shitty enough. And they go to the doctor and the doctor says, listen, if you don't do something right now or in the next X days or months, you are going to die. You will watch that person go crazy trying to fix that problem because there's an urgent reason, his time is scarce, and the doctor told him exactly what to do. That is what's, people will do more to get out of a burning building than they will to get a 6-pack of abs or the big house or car or whatever. You could say, hey man, this is all you got to do for the next 5 years and you can have anything you want. They don't do that. But if you say to somebody, if you're doing one of these 3 things and you're not sure that you're doing it, it could cost you your life. They are going to look at that. So it's benefit and curiosity. We use that when we're creating content. Does that make sense? Okay. So we are creating an infinite amount of videos. This never stops. And all you have to do, if you don't want to be doing the videos all the time, you have to train somebody to understand it like you do, and you have to get them to do that for you. But if you look at all the biggest people and the biggest players out there, why do you think that they're doing it themselves? Well, number one, they're probably passionate, they love it, they really care about it, it's the reason they started doing it. But nobody can share that story better than you can. Nobody can share that Apple story better than Steve Jobs, right? Nobody can share the ClickFunnels story better than, Russell Brunson. Nobody can do these things like the person that really, was the person that started it out. Okay, and what else are you doing, right? What else are you doing? You can only drive so many sports cars, go visit so many things. After that, the only reason you're able to do all that stuff is because you had to help people. Why don't you just focus on that most of the time? Okay, the next thing is our funnel blueprint or layout or build out, okay? I usually just say build out. So we get on that Zoom and we've got 4 pages in the funnel. Page 1 is where we collect the email. We use benefit and curiosity. We don't give away the end of the movie. It's just the trailer, okay? And this is where the cheese things come in. How do you catch a mouse? You put what they want on the trap. So you're putting on this page what they want, and then if they opt in, you give them what they want. You understand? And when they opt in, they go onto a list, which is an automation list. And what that does is it starts sending out these 10 videos over the next 7 days. 2 videos a day and then 1. After that, if they still have not purchased or signed up or whatever your objective is, they will keep getting videos until they do, or they will unsubscribe. And if they unsubscribe, they weren't going to buy from you anyway. So don't worry about that. Oh, that's a lot of emails, Mike. Yeah, well, you can either show up or your competition can. It's up to you. Okay, so they're only opting in, by the way, because you had something they wanted. Okay, don't forget why they got in there. And don't forget that they can get out on their own. It's their choice. All right? Your whole job, listen, you're trying to help people. Okay? Who cares what anybody says if you're trying to help people and you're trying to do the right thing? You just need to, people that are just outright being rude and mean to you, you need to worry, you need to think, gosh, what's really going on with them? I'm over here trying to help people, and they're over here trying to be rude and mean to me because I'm trying to be out there and helping people because I want to help as many people as I can before I die. If they're talking trash and being nasty to you, you need to feel sorry for them, okay? So here we go. These 10 emails go out in 7 days. In between each one of the emails, we're going to be literally talking to them like, hey man, I sent you an email yesterday, and I noticed you didn't sign up. You opted in because you wanted this thing, and I showed you how we get that for you, but I noticed you didn't take me up on my offer at the end of the video. What's going on? Well, anyways, look, I want to show you a video here where we actually make it real easy for you, and I want to show you how we do that. And then you're sending them to that video, which is one of your what ifs, okay? And when you send them to that video, here's what these pages look like. So they click inside the email, and inside the email, I'm going to show you how this goes out, but see, inside the email, there's a picture of a video. You can't actually watch a video in an email. You have to click on it, go somewhere to watch it. Some people go right to YouTube where it's Distraction City. Okay, I like to take them to my own page here, hidden in the background, that has the video on it, a headline with a hook, and then underneath that video, it's got a button that goes to page 3, which is where they can schedule a call or sign up, either one. It's got a button on it. There's another button underneath that takes them to page 2, which is the core overarching like bird's eye view of my offer. And then there's another button down at the bottom, which goes to another hidden page. And this is where I take my offer and I go super articulated with it. Okay, I really break it down so those people that got to read every line and know every nook and cranny, they get that. And the other person that still needs more information and value, they get that too. And on that page, it looks just the same. It's got these buttons here where they can schedule a call or sign up, go back to the main core offer if they need a refresher, okay? And it's very clear on how to do that for the person visiting the pages. So understand, each one of these emails aren't just some email, some boring, dusty old email. It's an email that's power-packed with value where you're giving it all, just like you would in a race or a basketball or football game or any sport. You're giving it your all. You're actually helping them so that they can see that you can help them. And then you're driving them to a page. And what's nice about these pages is they're all pixeled. They all have, videos on them. I use Wistia so I can see how many times they replay the video, where they keep watching it. So I know, what really is it about this video they're so concerned with. Okay, you don't have to use that. But when you pixel these pages, you can retarget them. Okay, you can retarget people that are coming to these pages if you're using your ads, okay? So again, the funnel build out, page 1 is a landing page. There's only 2 kinds of web pages on the planet. You ready? Pages that give information and pages that take information, and any page can do both. That's it. That's it. So no more complicated than that. You don't need anything more than a headline, the main chunk of what you're offering, and then any kind of buttons or anything where they can go to do whatever. That's it. Okay, no more complicated than that. In between each email, you put a time slot. Okay, here's how much time I want you to wait before you ask this question of, did they buy or did they not? If they bought or signed up or did what I wanted them to do, end this automation. If they didn't, send out the next email. And because we can know what the previous email said, the next email is just going to follow along in that conversation. You wouldn't keep introducing yourself to somebody. They'd think that you have like amnesia. So if you've already introduced yourself and you talked about this part, why don't you say, in the last email when we met up and I made this thing and this offer and showed you this deal and you didn't take me up on it, I wanted to get you another email just to see why, because sometimes life gets in the way. We don't know. Or maybe you're just still unclear about X, Y, Z, so email me back if you are. But I've got another video for you where I go over something even more about the value I'm going to give you and how I'm going to solve your problem. You understand? Okay? Keep it like you're talking to a human, because unless animals are opening emails, I'm pretty sure that you're talking to a human. I don't even regard the bots and all that stuff. Okay, don't worry about that stuff. What you focus on grows. That's why I put this here. You focus on negative crap, you're going to get more negative crap. You focus on positive, you're going to get more positive. What you focus on grows. What you think you are, right? So in this, we opt in, get the email here. The next page, there's just a video and a button so they can go sign up. On the third page, when they click this button, it takes them to here, and they can either schedule a call or they can purchase the thing. Very simple. And then if they do either of those 2 things, call or purchase, it takes them to the final page, which is your thank you page. Okay? So it's very simple. You need nothing more than that. Do you understand? Nothing more than that. We operate a 7-figure operation here with a very small team with very, very simple to do things. Why in the hell would you want it to be complicated? Why do you think you have to do complicated things to get results that you want? It's all about your thinking, all right? All right, so after we put the funnel together and we connect that with the pixels and the tags, and we make sure the pages connect to each other, and we make sure that when they opt in, they go into the list and all that stuff. Once we've got that in place, all right, which is all templated, and I give you this funnel, and I give you these email automations right here, plus a free training over at makeonce.com. It's 100% free, okay? You don't need to pay me nothing, it's there. Just take it and use it, all right? Okay, then we've got our automations, all right? So we've got our automations here. That's the next thing we do. These are the emails that go out in that automated way, all right? So that's my little automation symbol. So it's very simple. I want you to, when I first got into automations and I thought, man, this is some complicated stuff, all right? When I got into automations, I looked at that and I was just like, whew, it can't really be this hard. I mean, because if it was, like, my goodness, we're trying to get everybody to try to use these things. Why would they make it hard? And they didn't. Maybe at first. It's this simple. You create an email, and there's elements in between each email that tells the next email what to do. So I send out an email. When somebody opts into this list, this email goes out right away. Then I say, wait for, you pick an amount of time. I usually do, in the first 10 emails, like I said, 2 emails a day separated by 6-hour increments. And then on the remaining 4 days, it's 1 email a day separated 24 hours, right? 1 email a day. So I create an email. Here's what the email will look like. I say how long I want them to wait before they ask this question, which is simply if then. If this happens, then do this. That's how we work in our brain. If something happens to us, then we do this. Computers, same thing. If somebody presses this key, then do this. Okay? If somebody did this, then do this. In my case, I don't have anything complicated to do. If somebody signs up, or if somebody gets a tag put on them, or if somebody bought or scheduled, then end the automation. Because all these 10 emails are getting them to either go schedule or buy. We're hitting the iron while it's hot in those first 7 days, that first 7 to 10 exposures. Wait this long, ask the question, did they schedule or buy? If they did, end the automation. If they did not, send the next email. That's it. You can get more fancy. I just don't suggest it unless you like, doing that and learning more and doing all that. You're more than welcome. There are some neat things that you can do. But if you just want to make money and get more customers by doing less and help people without having to be so strenuous, then I would just stick to that. I use ActiveCampaign for automations. I use ClickFunnels for my funnel. For my scheduling, I use Calendly. For my billing, I use Stripe. They all talk to each other so that my emails know if they did this or did that. Okay? Very simple. I'm going to speed this up because I've only got a few more minutes left. All right? If I'd love to be able to cover more, but unfortunately I've only got so much time right now because of my schedule. So here's how these emails look. I've been running emails like this. I've tried all types of different ways, short little, choppy things. For me and for what I, am doing here, I cannot beat this format for some odd reason, which is fine with me because it's so easy. But here's the format. I have it automatically put their name in because when they opt in on the first page of my funnel, I ask for their name and their email. I've even went as far as getting their phone number so we can call them and try to set something up. But name and email is fine. If they want you to have their number, they'll give it to you because you earned it. All right. If you add the phone number on the first page, a lot of times, it's kind of like too much ask, right? It's like on that first date, you don't want to go in for the kill right away, right? Let's earn our place first. It automatically puts their name in there. The first sentence of the email is a hook. Why should I care about? What are you gonna what is the purpose of this thing? Why is it so valuable to me? And then I use a curious call to action, okay? I'll put in here. Most people aren't getting customers to their website, not because their thing isn't good, but because of a few things. That's the first sentence. The next one is, those few things, the crazy thing is, most people don't realize that out of those 3 things, there's one thing that they're doing that they think is good, but it's actually ruining what they're doing. And if you want to see that, just click right here, and I put a link. So see, I reversed it. I reversed it and said, are you doing this thing? Because if you are, it could be hurting you, right? Do more to get out of a burning building than they will to get this thing. If I would have said, do these 3 things and you could be this, that's not as, that doesn't get as much action as, wait, am I doing that? Oh my God, right? It's human psychology. Just use it to the advantage here. Don't hurt nobody, help everyone. Then I put a picture of what they're going to get, okay? I put a picture of what they're going to get, and then I go ahead and I show them what they're going to learn with 3 bullet points, another curious call to action, and then, I put down here some power question with a link. Okay? Some power question with a link. And then that's all the emails. It's that simple. So these things really, really, truly matter. All right? You've got to know your numbers. You've got to understand the workflow, the daily operations, and the numbers. Your daily operations, once you've got your business set up with this other process here, is you're literally doing marketing. One of the coolest things I heard this year from Gary Vee, super simple, once again, sales is bad marketing. If you have to sell somebody your stuff, it's because your marketing sucks, okay? Okay, when people come into this funnel, the first time they see it, only about 2% of them are gonna do what you wanted them to do, all right? 30% are just never gonna do anything. I don't know why, and I don't go into it, it's just what it's been. And those 68% that you can scale and grow a business with, that's gonna happen through follow-up. Follow-up meaning your email automations and things like that, okay? So on page 1, you should be getting a 10 to 30% opt-in rate. So when they hit this page and get to the next one, that should be happening at 10 to 30%. Page 2, your video page, should be converting people into appointments or sales around 3 to 7%. 7 is very rare, all right? And then booked calls. So about 70% of the people that booked a call should be getting on the call, all right? And then in the sales, 30 to 70% of the people that get on the call with you should be turning into customers. And you can get some people that will book calls for you, and they call them setters, and then you can have people that close. I've just got a 12-part script. It works fabulous. It takes 20 to 40 minutes depending on the person and what they ask, and it just works. It's beautiful. It's fun for them. It's not pressury. It's beautiful. Okay, you'll love it. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's about what it is. Every day we're adding another video back here. Every day we're adding another video back here, sharing about what we do to solve their problems. It's just whatever we post long form on YouTube, okay? We're taking that video and we're sticking it on the back of the automations, and there's always a clear call to action, and it's always going on a page like this with these buttons to go buy your thing. It's very easy because you can just clone this page, just like you can clone these emails, and you just swap out the messaging in it. It's so simple. Please do not make it any more complicated. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with these points, and then I gotta get out of here. I can't thank you enough for sticking around this long. I hope you've gotten tons of value. If you have got tons of value, you know what to do. You can subscribe, follow, like. If you have questions about anything, use the comments down below. You can email me, mike@makeonce.com. You can get all my free trainings and emails and everything over at makeonce.com. I've made it very simple for you to get it. I'm just here to help you. I want businesses to get more customers by doing less, because as soon as I figured out how to do this, it drastically improved my life. And I just want you to have a happy, good life too while you're helping others, okay? So here's some key points for you, and then I'm out of here. Marry the activity, divorce the outcome. Focus on what the activity is. Get rid of thinking about the outcome. Have your goal, set your number. After that, throw it on a shelf. Everybody else tells you to look at that every day. No, focus on the activities. What are the activities? Sharing with the world how you help them with a clear, urgent, scarce call to action, clear on how to get it. Make your product good. That's the number one thing. Product and service needs to be at its top tip notch. I mean, it's gotta be the best, right? That is the core thing. You want your business to grow without you? Have a product or service that actually flippin' works, right? Once you have a badass product, it's really easy to talk about it. It's so easy to talk about what I do because it works, right? It's so easy. So make a good product. Assuming you have that, the daily activities that you're doing is making sure as many people on the planet know that you can help them with their specific problem. And making a good team. Get people to help you, because you've got something so great that if you had more people, more fishing poles in the water, you could do more for the world, right? So help your team. The more money you make, the more you can pay your people, the better people you get, the harder people work. Care about them, be there for them, okay? That's what we do. That's what we do. Natural selection, don't guess. Put a bunch of stuff out there, put a bunch of different items out there. Which item do they always go for? Okay, do more of that. We're always trying to identify what to do less of and what to do more of. It's that simple. Do not make it any more complicated. Number 3, this is a big one. Most people just get attention on social media. The biggest problem I have clients that do 22.5 million a month, 2 million a month, 3 million a month. They got attention, they've got followers, they've got all this stuff on social media, no email list. So we've got to things can change on those platforms. Get the attention, turn it into property, on an email list, and then turn it into a raving audience by feeding your audience. You know, kind of like you get a property, a house, a piece of property. The more you improve the property, the more valuable it becomes, right? You put a pool in the backyard, a fence around it, a cool garage, you redo the floors. That's what you're doing here. Only you're creating an audience because you're giving them so much value, just like you're giving your house so much value, the property value goes up and up and up. Same thing. Get attention, turn it into property email list, and turn them into a raving audience that loves you. And listen, attention is more valuable than money. 4, keep it simple. You're always talking to one person and ask questions. Questions are the answer. Ask questions and you will have the answer, okay? Number 5, there's gotta be an urgent, scarce, clear call to action if you want people to take action. Give them an urgent, scarce, clear call to action, okay? It's very simple. What is urgent about this? What is the scarcity about this? And then what do I do in a clear, simple, step-by-step fashion to get the thing, okay? And number 6, every night before you go to bed, I don't care if you run a bazillion-dollar company, okay? You need to be writing down as many what ifs as you can. What if the customer has this problem? What if the customer's unsure about this? What if the customers are so many customers that we can't serve them all? So you better find people to help you serve them all. What if, what if, what if? Try to write down 10 what ifs, and that's your content for the next day. What if in step 1, this, step 2, step 3, step 4? If you sell Porsches, all you would talk about is the Porsche and how it changes their life, makes it better, etc., etc., etc. All right, appreciate you, but I gotta go. Thanks.